what's up? It's your tour, and we're back with another episode of the Iron Skillet podcast. Today I got TCLEMTV to the left of me. He's running the boards. And we have a local hip-hop artist and the creator behind the streetwear brand Chill Kill in the building, Crizz.
Yes.
Say what's up to the people.
What up, world? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing?
I think hopefully they're doing well.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm managing. Staying safe.
I mean, as
Staying
good as
safe.
you can be, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, so we want to kind of start a little bit at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you, even though I know you, I want to talk a little bit about where you're from.
Okay.
And a little bit about what your childhood was like.
Okay. So I was born in Maryland originally, but I moved here when I was a little kid. So I've spent most of my life here.
Where's here?
Winchester.
There you go.
Winchester, of course.
It's all good.
Yeah, Winchester, of course.
Okay.
So since I was a little kid, I've lived here in Winchester, and my childhood was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There was always music being played in the house. There was always games being played, like board games or playing outside, sports and stuff like that. So
Super active.
Yeah. And a lot of my family members, they were very artsy as well. Like my grandfather, he painted.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a really good painter. And my mom and dad, they were just big music heads.
Yeah, so
Big music heads.
So you're the household who, like, no matter what day of the week it is, there's music playing.
Yes, whether it was Earth, Wind, and Fire or the Brothers Johnson or Journey.
Yeah.
It was literally an array of different music being played all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think once you told me your dad was like really into rock at one point.
Oh,
Like,
let me tell you, if you ever get a chance to come to my house, my dad's record collection is nuts.
Insane.
Crates.
That's awesome.
Crates.
So it seems like that's a good influence on you to be able to, like, find what you're interested in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it gave me an opportunity to hear different types of music, different genres, and it built the foundation for the sound that I have now.
I feel it.
Yeah.
So what I want to find out now is, like, where did you first start taking steps onto your own creative path, whether that was music or I know you have streetwear as well. So, like, what's from the first time you remember starting to mess out with creativity for yourself?
I think it honestly, again, it goes back to me as a little kid. Mm-hmm. I think I got this from my grandfather. My mom says this all the time. Mm-hmm. I've always been an artistic person.
Okay.
I did a lot of stuff in high school and middle school art-wise. I drew a lot. I still draw a lot. And a lot of the designs that I have for Chill Kill, I've drawn myself. Also, on top of that, too, when it comes to music, I think I was probably 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. I started, like, writing poetry, just little lines here and there, and then I started, gaining traction on that, building, phrases and one-liners and stuff like that. And I think that just rolled into a whole snowball of just
starting music and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know you both have music and streetwear going on in your life, and I know I want to try to tell those stories together,
right,
as we go through.
Okay.
So
I'll help
you. He's like, I know my story, so I can help you. So what started first? Were you first making designs for T-shirts, or were you first, like, before that? Were you like, I'm gonna try to make a hip hop song? What came before?
Well, it's interesting. Okay, so my senior year in high school, a lot of people have seen the rabbit logo that I have for Chill Kill. I drew that when I was 17. I was in high school. I had that design probably for years, and probably when I was like 21, 22, I had a friend, actually Brett and a couple other people, had said to me, "Dude, you should really put that on a shirt. Like, I'd rock that."
Yeah.
And I was like, the homies will dig it, you know. But when I actually, like, showed the design to other people who, weren't in my circle, they were like, "Did you draw that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they were like, "That's amazing. You need to put that on a shirt." I would buy that. So me not being stubborn and trying to hold stuff to the chest and stuff like that, I decided to try it, and it worked.
People liked it.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I already do like clothing and fashion already. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it. and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with it.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Glad you did.
Yeah, because it's super lit. And I can tell you're very into streetwear because your designs, I mean, I think people can tell the difference when it's merch
Yeah.
versus when it's streetwear. And yours definitely has a streetwear vibe to it. Like
I
it's,
appreciate that.
It's more than just merchandise, you know?
If
Right.
there's like a story behind every piece, you feel
Right.
like, you know.
And that's something I've always tried to do too, and I'm trying to do now with the new stuff that'll be coming out. There's gonna be a story behind everything.
I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm excited too because even though like I've put out stuff before, to my own fault, I haven't been as consistent. So and in our game, consistency is key.
Absolutely.
for
So
sure.
I'm taking this time to really hone in and really build out a plan to really stay strategic and stay, constant with everything and stay consistent.
That's awesome. So what's the first music you remember recording, whether it's a song or a project? What's the first thing you can remember, like, I'm recording this, whether it's for somebody or not?
Okay. My first actual recording was back with my homie Jeremy Morrison.
Okay.
So I'm sure you guys remember him.
We got to tell that story. Yeah.
So that started. I was 21. I was 21. So that was 2011.
Okay.
So I had been hanging out with Jeremy. Jeremy's a childhood friend of mine. So he told me one time, he's like, "Yo, I know you can rap," because I'd done it at parties and like just hanging out with the homies, just freestyling over beats and stuff. But he was like, "You know what, man?" He's like, "Come to the studio. I want to see if you can actually like put a song together." So at that time, I went over to Jeremy's house. During that time, he was recording Arn and Dion.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think I was there.
you might have been there because I
Pretty
think
sure
Brett was there too. Actually, you were.
I'm saying, I'm
'Cause,
pretty sure I was there.
That was when we did that whole big
Crazy.
cipher.
Yep.
That whole big cipher. Yep.
I got really high that night.
Yeah.
God.
Look,
Like
So-
beyond high.
that's how the name The Grass Shack got invented.
Yeah.
That's
It's funny.
It was
It's funny.
insane in there.
It's funny because it's in
Look.
my neighborhood now. Like
That's wild.
I live in
Literally.
I live in that neighborhood now.
Literally a block over, like a
Yeah.
street over, is Jeremy's old
Yep.
house.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you pull up to the house. There's a bunch of other rappers there.
Yeah. There's me.
What are you feeling when they're like, all right, get up there, do your thing?
I was like, man. One, I was stoned out of my mind. So at first I didn't care, but like as I got on the mic, I was like, what am I gonna say?
I'm
What am I
nervous.
gonna say?
Yeah.
So luckily everybody made me feel comfortable and was like, look, man, just go for it, just do it. And it came out natural.
Yeah.
And that was my first taste at recording. And it was a fun fact about this too. That was actually the first time I'd ever done a song with Brett.
Crazy.
Yep.
You went by Robin back then, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So then, does this lead into short-term memory?
Yes, it does. So
Talk to me about that.
all right, so about a couple months later, Jeremy was like, look, man, I'm thinking that we should definitely work on a project for you. During this time, too, I'm building a friendship and music relationship with Brett. So him and I are hanging out all the time with Jeremy. We're, looking up beats together. We're writing songs and stuff like that. And really, it came out organically because Brett and I's friendship like just sprouted because of the party we all went to during Apple Blossom. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was at a friend Josh's house.
I DJ'd.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I'm like interweaved in this whole
Yeah,
story.
We all are,
so-
man. We all are.
Yeah.
So yeah, like from that party to going back to Jeremy's house, Brett and I really just zoned in and really just made a whole bunch of songs. I made some solo songs and he did the same, and we helped each other like build these songs out. And in turn, not trying to fast forward through everything, but there was a time where I'm actually glad I'm telling this story.
Yeah.
So the first project I did, it was actually a joint project with Brett. It was called Side Effects. So what happened was I had a BlackBerry. Yeah. This is going to sound crazy. So I had a BlackBerry at the time. It was just a dummy phone because I had an iPhone too. So I wrote all my rhymes on the BlackBerry.
Because the keyboard.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
All my rapper friends, you know what I'm talking about. So what happened was I had written my whole project on there, even songs that I had done with Brett. So we had a party at the house. The party was awesome, had a good time. I woke up the next morning at the house. BlackBerry was missing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So what happened was I was like down in the dumps. I was upset. I was mad. Like I had this was 16 songs that I had written in a BlackBerry.
Sheesh.
So Jeremy was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the store real quick. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna figure this out. So B, Brett, and Jeremy are sitting there. Jeremy comes back from the store and he comes in with a gang of weed. And he's like, look, we're gonna smoke.
We're gonna figure this out.
Tape. Literally, myself, Brett, and Jeremy made side effects and my tape and recorded some singles
All night.
in a day.
Jesus.
Literally from like probably noon, like 12:30 in the afternoon to the next day. Like I didn't sleep.
Right.
So like those first couple projects that he and I did, like
It was wild.
that was like a binge. It was wild.
Yeah.
Those are always
Crazy
like
times.
the best times, and
Oh my
the
God,
best
yes.
music comes from those. Like I remember being in the studio back in the day, just getting drunk and like making shit, and like the next morning I'd be like, but it was a fucking blast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a great time. And I feel
Exactly.
like a lot of times too, it's like that's when the best stuff comes out because you're not overthinking it. Your guard is down, and you're just like whatever you're feeling, putting it out, put it on the beat.
Right.
And sometimes like you can overanalyze and
Oh,
pick things
definitely.
apart too much. You know what I
I
mean?
do that now.
That's wild. So that was the first like you recorded all those projects in one night.
Literally.
Jesus,
Literally.
that's crazy.
Literally. I used to have the footage too.
That's the documentary right there.
Yeah.
I wish I still had the videos on my phone, and like it was nuts.
That's so crazy.
Think if y'all had a security camera like recording the whole time,
Yeah.
would have been dope.
That's so wild. So
Fun times.
So that's now I can understand why it's called short-term memory.
Yes. So what's cool is we've never told anybody this either. So the reason behind the name also too is because we wanted to be a group that is constantly moving forward, just like you guys, constantly moving forward, pushing the envelope, and not worrying about little mistakes that you made in the past. Hence the name.
Right,
Yeah.
just keep
So,
going.
Yeah, just keep it going. Like, because think about professional athletes, like professional basketball players or football players. They don't worry about the play that just happened. They worry about the play that's happening right now.
Right.
Exactly.
Or
So-
the next play.
Exactly. So forward thinking is what we were thinking about, and not worrying about the past. But we never got to tell that mantra. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there's that much depth into the branding. That's really
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
All right, so you did all those projects in one night, and then how? What's next? Like one thing I do want to ask from a streetwear standpoint, because
Okay.
I know you came over here one night and you helped us do some pictures for some of our products. And
Oh, yeah,
and you
yeah,
were
yeah.
like grids, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell's
The
a grid?
photo grids.
So like I know you worked for Brooklyn Alexander for a period of time, which was like a local streetwear
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah. Shouts to my man Alex.
Yeah. Do you think that being in that environment and having to know how to set up displays and things like that helped you know how to market your apparel or your streetwear itself? And just kind of wanted to get a little bit of insight into like that specific part of it, like promoting and taking pictures, because we all know there's good pictures of like streetwear, and then there's bad pictures of clothing, and
Right.
that goes a long way.
I struggle a lot with taking pictures of merch for some reason. I don't know. I'm just when it's not on somebody, I can't figure out how to make
How to
it
set it
look.
up.
Yeah, how to make it look like pristine.
And Mike's very good at
but
that.
the one
Thank you.
the one you posted today, I was like, that's fire. That picture.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Anytime you want help, I can help you.
Absolutely.
It's no problem. Or anybody. If you need help with anything merch wise, I got you.
Yeah, you kill it.
But yeah, no, Brooklyn Alexander definitely was what I needed. As far as one, getting my foot in the door for streetwear, and as well as literally opening my eyes to the actual world of streetwear. Because as you guys know, like being in our music circle, there's a world within itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of innings and going outs and a whole bunch of stuff that goes on with our music community out here. So with streetwear, I've always had, like I said, with music, I've always had a passion for it. Just the experience that I got traveling and going to a show called Agenda.
Trade show?
Yes.
Oh, I want to hear about that because I've heard that name.
Yes.
That's famous.
Yeah. So I got to go to Agenda when I was working there. And it was myself, it was Alex, a guy named Steph, and Corey Hammonds from Altamira.
Wow.
So shouts to Corey.
Yeah.
But yeah, we mobbed out, went to New York, and it was so awesome. It was such an eye-opening experience because, seeing streetwear, you think it's, okay, just print some shirts, do some dope photos, it's just real urban, real rugged, just staying true to yourself. But it's very strategic. Being in Agenda, you see how the brands maneuver with other brands that are like them almost. And then you also see how different some brands are from the rest. And then that in turn, that comes back to their marketing and how they do their pictures and how they do their grids. So one thing that I learned, going back to what you were talking about with the photo grids and stuff, one of the things that Alex had implemented into our system when we did like the feed for our Instagram and our Twitter and our Facebook was that we have to project a way to showcase the clothing in more than one way. Because we can take pictures of people wearing clothes all the time, but what happens if you don't have anybody to shoot it with? All you got is yourself and a camera and the clothes. You're not necessarily always going to have somebody.
Yeah.
So what is the way that you can, use that to your advantage? So at this time, Instagram is still bubbling up. It's not where it is now. So during that time, you're seeing a few people posting like their outfits and stuff. This is when the whole outfit grid thing started.
Yeah.
So I would look at that on Instagram and I would just study for like 2 hours a night. Just, while I'm watching TV or doing whatever. I would just study. I would just watch.
Look at other people's stuff.
Yeah, I would look at the quality of the photo. I would check out the angles, how they did it that way. I would watch like tutorials and stuff about how to shoot certain angles and stuff like that. And in turn, it just turned into a whole like thing where I would just literally like every other day, I would just drop
little pictures of grids of products.
Yeah. Yeah. And to anyone out there that's looking to do that, the key is it's all about symmetry. And just like how you would crop a photo, you're literally cropping in real life.
Yeah.
So you want the objects to make the shape that you're trying to shoot.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, so you're literally fitting it in a box.
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
No, that's dope. And I know if you guys could, like, if you go on Instagram, there really is an art to that. And I can tell you, like, we were trying to do, like, Merch Rack Monday. We were in here setting up stuff, and it was not looking good. And Mike's came
like,
in.
I got this.
He said, I can help
Get out of the way.
Yeah, and he fixed it.
Let me show you how to do this.
Thank you for that.
I
appreciate
can
it.
definitely tell, like knowing you, I feel like I already knew that you studied that shit. Like even just studied the culture and studied all streetwear, which I don't have the patience to do. That's why I'm so far behind on trends and shit like that.
That's what I'm here for.
Right. He's like, I can tell you it's
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, no, it comes across. All right, so if we want to we're gonna come back to streetwear, but if we want to shift to music, when I go on your SoundCloud, I see Neptune VA and I see The Drop. Were those your after making all of that music? Were those your first your next two individual projects that you put out?
No.
Okay.
So this is what happened. So when we made the 3 projects that we made, which I'm talking about is let me see. The first one that dropped was Jet Fuel, which was Brett's project.
Yeah.
We dropped that first. And then we did Side Effects. And then we did my solo project, which was Why So Serious.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's still on Dat Piff. But I just didn't put it on SoundCloud only just for the simple fact that was my first project and I was really still trying to figure everything out.
Testing the waters.
Yeah, I was just, seeing if I could actually do it.
Yeah.
And years later, we ended up running into a guy. His name is Rico Repertoire.
Oh, snap.
A.K.A. Egypt Fairfax.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Okay.
But he was a friend of Jeremy's, and we had met him at a show of our friend. His name is East Coast. He's a DJ, so shout out to East. We met him at the show, and he said he wanted to work with us. So one day we hung out at Jeremy's, and we started making tracks, and we found out that he could actually produce as well. So he made a couple beats. We chose like one or two, I think. And then we ended up making a whole bunch of songs, and that in turn turned into a project called Ape Shit.
I remember that.
Yes. So, fun fact about that too, the artwork for that, I actually did that.
You created the artwork for that. That's dope. That's dope.
I'm really into graphic art too, so that's another thing too, that if anyone didn't know that, I do
Graphic
all
design.
my project covers. So yeah, we did Ape Shit. That was really cool. I think that was a time where we like really like zoned in on like our sound, and what we were trying to do was like really sample heavy and like really melodic and free flowing. It was really airy music.
I feel it.
Yeah, and then after that, I made a project called Ferrari Music.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So that's honestly Ferrari Music and Ape Shit was probably like my kickoff to where like I really was like, all right, I can actually do this.
Get serious about it.
Yeah, yeah. And I was, I could really do this. So I had a bunch of songs that I had made. And during this time too, I know you remember this, and I know you guys remember when Brett moved to Arizona.
Oh yeah.
To go to school.
Yeah.
So during that time, we were trying to make another tape.
But then he had to dip.
He bounced.
Yeah.
So he was like, man.
That's a Brett thing to do.
Shout out to my man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, man, I got a bunch of songs that just didn't finish. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do something with them. He's like, word? I was like, yeah, you're not going to just move and then not have nothing to put out.
Yeah.
So if you're able to find Ferrari Music, I think it's either on Bandcamp or DatPiff, I can't remember. There is a song that that he had that I just thought was the hardest shit ever. Mm-hmm. And he like just goes off for like maybe like a minute. And all I did was the intro and the outro. But I called it Jet's Interlude.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, there's no way you're not dropping this.
Yeah.
So that was like my shout to him. Just because I didn't want him to go and then not have
anything.
Yeah, have anything to put out, because I know that he wanted to.
I feel it.
Yeah, and we ended up dropping an EP like a year later, like when he moved back. It was called NWO.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it was just like a small EP, but it was just songs that we just had laying around from then.
Yeah,
and we just let's put them out. We just didn't do anything with them
for sure.
So, fast forwarding to Neptune and the Drop.
Yeah,
the Drop was I call it my first official like coming out project. Because like I didn't want to make a full body of work and just have filler songs. I was, you know what? I just want to make 5 or 6 bangers and just throw them out there. And to my surprise, like people really rocked with it. So I thank everyone for that too as well. And then Neptune VA, I look at that as like a gift and a curse in a way. Okay,
tell me about the gift. Tell me about the curse.
I think Neptune VA was a project for me that was, it proved to me that I can actually make a conceptual project. If I'm sure you guys have heard it, the skits that are in that project are like legit recordings that I had like when I was hanging out with my friends and stuff. I would just hit the record button on my iPhone and I would just whatever I could hear. Yeah, I would just cut it and then just use it. Right. And from there, like there was 2 meaningful conversations that I had with my friend Brian, my friend Suede, and my friend Kevin. That's the intro where you hear me like talking to them and they're explaining to me like, look, man, you gotta just do it. Like, don't worry about it. Yeah. Don't worry about what anybody says.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was actually an Italian touch.
You wanna know something crazy? We ran into Suede at Complex Con. You remember that?
Oh, you did?
Yes. I mean.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
So like we're in Chicago.
I never met him before.
Bouncing around, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, "This is not happening right now." And he was like, "Yo." Yeah,
he was out there. He was out there for Hibbit.
Yeah. Well, hey, shout out to Suede.
Yeah, shout out my bro Suede.
He's always showed love, and it was awesome running into him. But I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
But those interludes were dope because they really added a lot of. It was kind of like cinematic. You know what I mean? It made the album feel cinematic. It made it feel like it was more than just music. It was something you were taking people on. And
that was my goal. I wanted to take everyone on a ride, and show everyone a side of me that not a lot of people have seen.
So what was the curse part?
The curse part was, it took me forever to make. It took me forever to make, and honestly, it got me into a position to where I was depressed for a while. Yeah. Because it had drained so much of my energy because I was putting all into it. And I, in a way, was kind of frustrated with myself because there were songs that I wanted to put on there that I didn't get a chance to. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just being a creative, you can always be over analytical of yourself.
Yeah.
So to me, sometimes it felt unfinished, but the reception of it was really good. So I can't complain. But it was a blessing either way.
It was a dope project.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
How long do you think it took?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years. Yep.
I mean, but albums.
Yeah.
They
Normal
take-
albums take, 18 months?
Yeah.
Normally, like, average.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know the feeling of, like, having something over your head that you've been working on for a long time. Like, Choices took us a year. And just, like, the final months, it was so stressful to try.
Because you're down to the wire. You're doing the finish. You're doing the mechanical and the technical stuff at that point.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
And Choices turned out really well, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Shouts to Bull.
Appreciate it.
For sure. So, was Neptune VA, was that the most recent piece of work that you put out?
Was.
That's what I thought.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've been hearing some whispers of some things that you're working on.
We hear Brandon mixing every once in a while.
Yeah.
Right.
So you may have a project, may have some collabs with Jet up your sleeve. So I don't know if you're down to tell us about some of that stuff.
I'm so about it. Y'all are family. I ain't worried about this.
Yeah. So what's that? What you got going on?
All right. So I've teased it. I've thrown out little pictures here and there, and I've deleted them quickly. I'm like,
if you see it, you see it. If you don't,
yeah. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, hey, you'll catch it.
Yeah.
But no. So piggybacking off what I was talking about with Neptune, I was in a place where I was like really depressed, and I had really bad writer's block. Because I felt like I wanted to be more personal with my music already than I have been. And I wanted to push the envelope for myself again. And really, I was hung up on what I wanted to. I wanted to know what people wanted to hear from me instead of what I wanted to give to people.
I remember you asking me.
Yeah, I've had conversations with each of y'all. I've talked to you. I've talked to you, Shatora, and I've talked to Brandon and Logan and Brett, all of y'all.
Yeah.
Just to get some type of
inspiration?
Yeah, not necessarily inspiration, but just some type of direction. Because it was like, you know, when you're in that headspace and you know, all you have is yourself sometimes.
You kind of need people to pull you out. And show you a different view.
And I'll forever be thankful that you guys did that for me. Like you guys, you know, you encouraged me, reinforced positivity, and I appreciate you guys bringing me out of that because it sucked.
Yeah. It's
really sucked. But with the music I'm making now, I'm super excited for. I'm super happy about it. So I guess I'll say it now. I've got an EP dropping soon. It's going to be called Demo Pack. So it's kind of like the same format as the drop. So what's going to happen is it's a bunch of tracks that I've either written in the past or I have made recently.
Okay.
And it's a mixture of both. And the first single is going to be a song called Options that I'm going to do with Brett. And it's stupid. Like, it is like...
Insane.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And then I also did a song with the homie Logue. Shouts to Master Logue. It's going to be called, in the file, it's called Le Mans, named after the race. But I'm actually going to be calling it Ari Gold, after the Entourage character.
That title is going to get clicks. If I saw that, I'd be clicking on it ASAP.
Yeah, so, and wait till y'all see the artwork. I'll show you the artwork when we get off here.
Yeah.
But, it's got a clip from Entourage in the middle of it that breaks in between me and Logan's verse.
Was Ari yelling at somebody?
Yeah, it's him talking to his wife. So the end of my verse, I say while I'm bumping up my status. So it's kind of like a run-on sentence as my verse ends, and then you hear Ari come in like, yeah, if you want to go to like therapy and you want a house in the villa and you want to do all this and all this, he's like, I'm gonna have to take this call on a Wednesday. He's like, I'm sorry, I got to take this, and then Logan's verse comes in. It's gonna be really fire.
I'm
but
excited.
Shout out Entourage. If you haven't seen Entourage, check out Entourage. 8 seasons in a movie.
Bugging.
Yeah,
you're bugging if you have not seen Entourage.
I feel it.
But yeah, I'm super excited for this project. Also, too, I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you guys about this either. Like, I'm also working on like my actual, like, I'm calling it my actual album.
Okay.
So, and that's actually it's cool because I'm actually going to tie it into the clothing as well too. The project is going to be called Chill Kill Volume 1. So I'm excited for that as well.
So,
And the pieces will be tied into the project.
hell yeah.
I love when people do that. I
So-
love when people do that. Like anytime you can have a story and you can build on
Right.
what's going on, people are gonna attach to that so much more heavily. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, that's
Especially if you do like exclusive drops and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the
People
plan.
love it.
That's the plan. I just want to make the music and the clothing as accessible as possible while still keeping that exclusivity.
yeah.
So,
I think that'll be good.
I'm just super hyped. I'm super excited. I feel invigorated, honestly, reinvigorated with all this, and
We're all
Yeah.
excited.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I feel like definitely the merch. I think that it's not even merch; it's streetwear. You know what I mean? I don't even want to say merch. It's the clothing.
Technically, it is.
It is, but it's well designed. It's designed very, very well, and I feel like people definitely need to go look at the merch.
I super
Look at
appreciate
it
that.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Where it's Chill Kill. Is it just Chill Kill? What's your Instagram?
My personal Instagram is Chill Kill Crizz, CRI 2 Z's, and then the clothing page is
Yeah.
Chill Kill Clothing Co.
Chill Kill Clothing Co. Look that up. I'm telling you, when you guys see it, you're gonna be like, "Wow, this is," you know what I mean?
I think the dope thing about Chill Kill is like you can wear it to represent you, but you can also wear it to represent its own
Yeah.
like persona. You know.
and that's one thing that I aimed for it to be, because I didn't necessarily want something that always resonates back to me.
Right.
I want it to be for people who might do the same things as me, or might be in the same interests as me. Even people who don't have the same interests as me. If it's just the rabbit you like, or if you like any designs that I make,
Yeah. Right.
if you think that it represents you, or if it's something that you would want to wear, you have my blessing to the utmost to
That's
wear
dope.
it.
Which I think is something that's super important for people to understand is like when you talk about merchandise, it's directly attached to
Right.
an artist,
Right.
to a brand,
Right.
to a person, right?
Because that's the goal. Yeah.
Exactly. So like if you don't support the person, you're probably not going to buy it, because why would
Right.
you wear?
Right.
I'm not wearing Logan. No offense, I'm not wearing Logan Paul merch,
Right.
Because I don't know
Yeah.
anything about him.
Right.
But for you creating a clothing brand in itself that stands by itself, you always have that separate stream of income and that separate thing that is its own. Whether music goes here or there, this is also its own thing.
Right.
Which I think is super.
It's very very unique.
Yeah.
like, to have.
And I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't say this. I literally was influenced to do that from people like Pharrell, which is why I'm wearing this hat.
Yay.
Shout out.
Yeah,
PA.
shouts to Skateboard P. Him, as well as Wiz and Currency.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, yeah, they're their own entities, but they also have their crew with Taylor Gang and Jet Life.
Yeah.
Now, think about it now. Like they both have clothing lines now.
Yeah.
You can buy that kind of merch, and it's turned itself into a brand.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same path that I'd like to go down, to where even if you don't see my face attached to it, you still know it's me. But at the same time, to somebody who doesn't know who I am,
They could like
They
it.
still
they
think
can still
it's
like
dope.
it. Exactly.
They
So-
still see that booth at Complex Con like, damn, I need to cop some of that shit.
Exactly. That's the goal, man.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Well, that brings me to my last question for you,
Yeah.
and you could take some time to think about it.
Okay.
But I want to know all right, obstacles, money, all of that is out of your way. You have whatever you need. Within, like, if you were to look 5 years down the road at your creative life, music, streetwear, what would your perfect situation be? Where would you live? What would your life look like? And this is like, don't think about money. Don't think about like
Yeah.
if I had just whatever. Like, what if you could have it your way?
If I could have it my way, I've always wanted to live close to the beach, so I'd probably have a spot by the beach. I would like to have a space to create, whether that's music, clothing, or art. And I would literally just do that every day for the rest of my life, truly.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, money's going to be there.
Yeah.
You can get money plenty of ways.
Yeah.
But my ultimate goal for life has always been to do what I want to do in my life. Because I know you know this, and I know you know this as well too. Not everybody wants to work for somebody else. A lot of us want to work for ourselves. A lot of us want to create our own situations for ourselves. And the moment we're able to grab that, we hold on to it tight. And I think that if, money removed, I would still do this.
100%.
I would still do this 100%.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
100%.
That's awesome.
We would rely on you to do it.
Right?
We're going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate that.
Well, before we hop off of here, I want you to tell the people specifically where to find you.
Yeah.
Between your music and your streetwear. Tell the people where they can find you at.
All right. So to find me, you can find me on Instagram. That's pretty much where I'm always at. You can find me there and Twitter at Chill Kill Crizz. You can also find the clothing page again, Chill Kill Clothing Co. Also, too, the website will be dropping very soon, along with a couple pieces that I'll be dropping on the website as the inauguration for the website.
Awesome.
So
Make sure y'all cop those.
Yeah.
Also, too, I want to say this before I get off. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I finally got to do this with you guys, and I'm putting you on the spot right now. You owe me a couple tracks. Well, I owe you a couple tracks.
I got one for you.
All right.
I'm here all day for it. You just let me know. We can make it happen.
I'm trying to get you on the project.
I'll be honored.
You need to do it.
I'll be honored. Just let me know.
I'd be honored to have you.
Hey, so you better stay tuned because it's about to be some heat.
I'm telling
coming.
you. I'm telling you.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you please check out my man's stuff. Amazing artist, amazing created
amazing friend.
Amazing friend.
Thank you.
Been around since the beginning. This is another episode of the Iron Skillet podcast. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.